4 police officers have come under attack over the past 24 hours in 3 different states. In San Antonio, Texas, Detective Benjamin Marconi fatally shot during a traffic stop Sunday morning. Police say the suspect, Otis McCain, is now in custody, and he targeted Marconi.
It absolutely felt targeted. I think the uniform was the target, and anyone who happened to, the first person who happened along was the person that he targeted.
Police officers also targeted over the weekend in St. Louis and Gladstone, Missouri, as well as Sanibel, Florida. All 3 officers shot are recovering. Joining me tonight, former Washington, D.C. homicide detective, Fox News contributor Rod Wheeler. Rod, great to have you with us. This brings to 9 the number of police officers shot this month. We're looking at raging violence on the streets of this country in our major cities. And it seems to be directly led by a president who decided that law enforcement was the problem, not the hoodlums, not the crooks, not the bad guys and gang members.
Well, you know, Lou, there's a lot of truth behind that. I mean, when you look at the statistics and you look at the facts and circumstances surrounding each and every one of the 56 murders of police officers this year alone, 56, you have to say to yourself, what is giving these criminals the ability to commit these murders on our law enforcement officers? And let me just submit this to you and the viewers right now, Lou, that we're glad from a law enforcement perspective, and I think I can speak for a lot of cops in this country, we're glad that Donald Trump is going to be in the White House. Why? Because he ran on the premise that he is the law and order candidate, and you know what? We think we're going to see a difference. Criminals right now, Lou, they don't care about police officers. This guy, Marconi, this officer, 20-year officer, he was killed for one reason and one reason alone, because he wore a uniform and he cared about his community. But guess what? Marconi won't be at the Thanksgiving Day table come this Thursday.
And unfortunately, a lot of police officers will not be.
That's right.
And I don't quite understand when this country decided, it was within the last 8 years, that somehow there wasn't going to be outrage, that there was not going to be some sort of backlash against this kind of violence. This is a president, when he wasn't attacking law enforcement agencies and officers, he was trying to explain away the violence in socioeconomic terms rather than in terms of right and wrong, law and order. And Donald Trump has made it absolutely clear this is not going to stand. What must Donald Trump, in your judgment, think about? What does law enforcement want so that at least they're respected? They can't always be safe. It's a dangerous job no matter what. But they should have our respect, our support, and certainly this kind of violence has to be stopped. Outright.
Well, it has to be stopped, absolutely. And you know what? Our communities need to become outraged by what's going on. Look, let's face it, President Obama has been what I call the nickel and dime supporter of police officers. He hasn't really supported us like he should have, and as well as President Obama, Loretta Lynch as the top law enforcement officer. Let me show you something real quickly. We've had 4 police officers, Lou, that's been gunned down in this country in the past 24 hours. Have you heard a word from the Department of Justice? Have you heard a word from President Obama? But I'll tell you, when you did hear from President Obama 2 weeks before the election, you found him everywhere campaigning for Hillary Clinton. But now that we police officers are being targeted, we don't hear a word. So it's time for a change, and I honestly believe that with the new president, we're going to see that change. Look, America is tired of this crime. We're tired of crime in our communities. We're tired of crime against our police officers, and it's time to do something about it, Lou.
Absolutely. And enough of the group and identity politics, and how about taking care of people and making sure our communities are safe all around the country for everyone. Rod Wheeler, always good to talk with you. Thanks for being with us.
Good to talk to you too, Lou. Take care.
You too.